Alright, what's up? It's time to get back on Twitch. I'm in the midst of recording a competitive league, but I don't really tend to stream competitive leagues. I like to be a little bit less distracted when I do those. So, sidestepping the competitive league and stepping into a friendly league in the meantime, playing blue-white Chalice Spirits. This is exactly the 75 cards that I'm playing in the competitive leagues, and the meta isn't exactly the same between the two, I think. I haven't really played in friendlies in a little while, but I drop in every now and then, and there's like a lot less Phoenix, more Dredge, a little less Tron in the friendly leagues, I think. There's a ton of Tron in the competitive leagues. But I think that a lot of both leagues are populated a lot by Amulet. So playing 3 Damping Sphere. That's a pretty consistent 3 of in my sideboard, and I don't feel the need to change it for friendlies. So yeah, this is same list. See how it works in the friendly leagues. Probably going to be about the same. I do not know if there is any more subtle difference between these two metagames right now, but Damping Spear is good against a lot of decks right now. So, sticking with it. Got our first match coming up. This is a new username celebration. Finally have a username that matches my Twitch name and Reddit name and Discord name. I'm now the Rift289 on MTGO. So maybe you'll see me on MTGO and you'll know who it is. You won't have to try to recall who this fool Frostbane is, because now you know it's me. Gonna be on the plate against Blue Blood. His hand's a little awkward, but I'm gonna keep it on the strength of Smuggler's Copter. If it gets thought seized, we'll be in a little bit of trouble. But we got a lot of reasonable draws. Eating some spaghetti here. Spaghetti Thursday. We have an opponent on a mulligan to 5. So, might get away with something here. This loose keep. This is very much a game 1 of match 1 keep. Not the kind of hand I keep when I actually know what's going on. Not the kind of hand I keep when I'm, down a game. Okay, some kind of Ponza deck. Well, if they go for a Blood Moon, we're going to be fine. If they go for a Stone Rain, we're in big trouble. Like humongo trouble. So we just got to hope that they don't Stone Rain us right here. If they do, we need to draw land immediately. Please no land. No Stone Rain. No land destruction. Oh, white. Naya? What is this? They named red, and they fetched a basic plains. Oh no. Alright, come on, land. Easy game, easy life. Nice, look at that. So easy. Now we get to dig up a 3rd land with Copter. They cannot destroy Thalia and a land. next turn. Certainly don't need 2 paths. So if they destroy Thalia, then we can play another one. If they destroy a land, then we can loot away the second Thalia to try to find another land. Spaghetti and ice cold water, my favorite foods. Opponent mulliganed low, so they're down to 3 cards. Fiery Justice on Thalia. Wow. Fiery Justice. That's crazy. When's the last time anybody saw that spell cast? This looks like, I guess it's probably Naya Ponza. I think we don't need the 3rd Thalia, right? I guess, actually, I mean, we can cast her. So let's picture the Rattlechains, since that's not castable, and if it becomes castable, that means that our Spell Queller is too, so there's not really any reason to cast the Rattlechains. Birds. Elf. Alright, so they have a lot of mana, but they have no cards left in hand. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, every draw, every non-land they can cast, so that's a little scary. And we can't quell a lot of their big threats. But I do think it's worth looking for that land anyway, rather than attacking with Mutavault. Ooh, Selfless is nice. So I don't think we need the 3rd Thalia anymore. Selfless is really good. That means that like a Bonfire of the Damned or an Inferno Titan, those sorts of cards aren't going to be good. And then we can path it. They get like Summoner's Pact for a Hornet Queen or something. I don't know if they play Summoner's Pact. Just totally spitballing. I have no idea what this deck is. This is a weird decision they're trying to make. The birds is their 8th mana. So either they need 8 mana or they don't. We haven't played a Spirit yet, have we? No, we discard Rattlechains. So they know we're Spirits. What'd they draw? Blood Moon? If it's a Stone Rain, then that doesn't matter. Nahiri the Harbinger. Interesting. So she can exile Thalia. Or Smuggler's Copter. Actually, Smuggler's Copter is a better hit. Cool. That's pretty strong. Ultimately, 5 mana. Disenchant, gain 2 life, but still, that's cool. Blue source. Not what the doctor ordered. Let's attack with Mutavault. We'll send everything at Nahiri, I guess. By attacking with everything, we incentivize her to minus. Well, if we attack it with everything, we kill her, obviously. If we don't attack with everything, we incentivize her to minus on one of our creatures, probably Thalia, but that unlocks our path. Let's just kill Nahiri. They're definitely drawing more live than we are, since they can cast anything they draw. So we don't want to give them more draw steps. If we didn't send everything at Nahiri, they could just ignore and plus instead, and then seeing 2 cards is huge. Blood Moon, okay. Functionally a Stone Rain on our Mutavault. Wow, taking 4. So now they're dead to path if they don't hold back 2 blockers. Okay. They get 1 draw step. Definitely a shame that we drew both of our basic planes. And a basic island, right? Yeah. Okay. So Primeval Titan, Inferno Titan buys them a turn. I think that's probably one of the only cards. Okay. Oh. Well, there you go. There's another card that buys them a turn. That's kind of funny. Two blockers. How'd they do that? I don't think we need to hold up path. Since all of their removal is going to, almost all their removal besides Nahiri is going to be damage based, we can protect a creature with Selfless. Now we have lethal flying damage. Wow, what an ugly game. We kept a terrible hand, so, you know, that's what we get. We don't have a lot in our sideboard for Ponza. Disdainful Stroke is a consideration. I don't know how many expensive cards they're playing. But at the very least, it answers Nahiri. I gotta assume they also have things like Huntmaster the Fells in the sideboard. Chandra, one or more Chandras, who knows which one. So having a card that can just answer those is nice. We don't need Chalices. Though they did show us, I don't know, I mean, they showed us Birds, Arbor Elf, Utopia Sprawl. But we showed them 2 Smuggler's Copters, so they're going to be like prioritizing their artifact removal, so it's probably not going to be useful. The other consideration is Declaration in Stone, since that can clean out multiple little idiots, but also if they produce any tokens. It's good. The downside is that Declaration of Stone is a little bit sketchy against a ramp deck with Tireless Tracker in it, because if we give them extra clues, they're just going to have an even bigger threat. Overall, the fact that this doesn't answer Planeswalkers makes me think we probably don't need it. So I think we're just going to bring in the 2 Disdainful Strokes. Phantasmal Image is going to be very fragile against them, especially with a card like Fiery Justice. They can destroy the Phantasmal Image for basically free if they're killing other things with Fiery Justice. And then it's sort of a toss-up for the rest of these cards. We're already only playing 3 Drogskol Captains, but if they're bringing in stuff like Anger the Gods, then Drogskol Captain's even worse. So probably not going to rely on Drogskol. Our Lords will be the Phantoms, ideally. And then Kira will protect us from things like Fiery Justice and Abrade and stuff like that. So I think we're just going to try it like this. I'm not 100% sure about the Disdainful Stroke because we didn't really see very much of their deck. But I'm pretty sure that they play a lot of those big spells. This hand's pretty good. Arbor Elf for potential big turn 2. They did keep 7, so they're certainly going to have something relevant to do on turn 2. Another Vial is honestly not bad. If they're going to Blood Moon us, it's going to happen this coming turn. If they're going to Stone Rain us, it's going to happen this coming turn. Either way, that gets rid of our Flooded Strand, so we might as well get it out now. And that way we can play around Blood Moon, even if we're not playing around Stone Rain. So grab a basic plane since we have Path. Get this first Vial out. I'd say there's a reasonable chance that we're going to play the second Vial on turn 2. Oh wow, they're nothing. They're another elf. Oh my goodness, they're nothing. What do they play, like Nature's Claim or something? That's really weird. I think I like the second Vial here. We might not ever have a third land this game, so having 2 Vials out is going to be huge. Oh my god. What is up with their hand? If we had a third land here, it'd be insane. Oh, that's so good. That's super strong. Another Arbor Elf. I think I like quelling this Arbor Elf. It certainly seems like that's the card they drew for turn. So let's just like actually start killing them, because the longer the game goes, the more favored they become. But if we just get out early and just start killing them, we'll be all right. Selfless is going to be phenomenal. That basically shuts off almost every out they have. Let's put a Vial to 3, even though we have no 3-drops, because we want to cast Copter this turn. So we draw a 3-drop and go to Vial it in. I don't hate a land either, but let's play the Copter first. Let's hold this land. Since if they Stone Rain us, it'll come in untapped the following turn. It's a rare case where holding Seachrome Coast as your 4th land has no downside. We'll either play it as our 3rd land next turn if we get Stone Rained, or we'll discard it to Copter. Let's get this Selfless out. I'm not going to path them because they probably just have non-green spells. We'll path them like the turn before we can kill them. On their upkeep. Which might be next turn if we draw a creature. Rattlechains. Okay, cool. So we're attacking for 7 here, putting them down to 9. And then with Rattlechains, we'll have attack for 9 next turn. So we'll path their elf in their upkeep. Just to make sure that they don't get out of this hole. They draw birds, it's annoying. Discarded Stone Rain. So they weren't even going to do anything fun. Well, that was a weird match. Just to make sure they don't do anything at all. Now they can't even cast Feed the Clan. Just make extra sure. Okay. I think we got him. We did indeed. Okay. Oh, it's so weird to get used to. The Rift 289 wins the match. New username. Alright, well, we're 1-0. Against a weird Naya Ponza deck that didn't really work. I'm going to reload on some spaghetti while we're finding our second opponent here. All right. New bowl of spaghetti. Round 2. Up against Nuke Nab. This is a mulligan. Oh, so is this. Sure. Actually gonna keep the Mutavault. Because now, even if we don't draw anything relevant at all, we can go turn 1 Mutavault Vial. Please don't be elves. Oh, scales. Alright, that's pretty bad. We do have a path though. So we can go turn 1 Mutavault Vial, turn 2 Flooded Strand, fetch Hallowed Fountain, play Smuggler's Copter. And then on turn 3, we can animate Mutavault, crew Copter, and attack, and still have path up. So there's something, but we're probably going to die. Well, now we just have to path that, huh? You can't even wait till they untap, because they'll just put the counters on Ravager, or on Inkmoth. Oh, that's a good draw, but we still have to path it. Three Ballista would be such a massive problem. Throne of Geth doesn't matter at all. Ballista? Okay, well, that sucks. Now we basically just can't play the Wanderer. Need to find a Deputy of Detention ASAP. Selfless is decent, I guess. They're going to have a 4/4 if they put counters on that thing. Minimum. Oh god, we're so dead. Arcbound Worker. Okay, so they can sack that to proliferate. That's disgusting. Alright, come on, Deputy. Oh, that's really good. Okay, so we play Selfless. Crew Copter. We just have to be really careful here because they have multiple ways to sacrifice stuff, so we can't be the first to act. We have to wait and respond to them. Ideally responding to the modular trigger. Yeah. So now we path that. So leap, revealing a Ravager. Okay, that's scary, but it's not as scary as a Ballista. So they have a Ravager in hand. I don't like that it shows you the cards that got revealed before. That's useless. See if we can find a Deputy of Detention. Okay, there's one. So we can't use our Vial anymore because they proliferated it. But at least we have the Deputy. Overseer. Good God. All right, so now we have to hope that they play the Ravager. Okay, so they played the Ravager, so they don't have a land. They can't animate the Inkmoth Nexus, which is big. Oh, we can't play the Deputy with the lands we have. All right, well, there you go. That was easy. So now they can't animate the Inkmoth. So the counters have to go on the Overseer, and that's not as scary. Oh, that's a cool interaction. So that gets 3 counters and then proliferates to 5. That's huge. At least it doesn't fly. So now, as of this turn, they can have a 3/3 Inkmoth Nexus. We actually died to it in 2 turns. Alright, so the Supreme Fan can block an Inkmoth Nexus. Can they get it to 10 right now? So they animate it, they tap this, put 2 counters on it, it's a 3/3. They tap this, sack the Darksteel Citadel, proliferate it to 5/5. Tap this, sack it to itself, it's a 7/7. Untap, tap Overseer, it's a 9/9. Or 9 counters. Okay, yeah, so they can make that a 10/10 infect in 1 turn. So we are on defense. But at least by attacking with it, they're not blocking us on the subsequent turn. It's going to be close. We have exactly the last path in our deck. That's the only answer we have to the Inkmoth Nexus. What did they just play? Oh, Blinkmoth. Blinkmoth's good. So we're dead to regular damage too. I don't know what they're so worried about. We're hella dead. If they attack with the Overseer and the Inkmoth Nexus, then we have to block both. Oh. Weird. Well, that answers the question of what they were doing. They were waiting for us. Alright, let's see if this is working. Stream health is good. I don't know why we just crashed. That was really weird. But we're back. Loading card data? I've never even seen it say that before. This is really weird. Sorry for the technical difficulties. So we'll just chump with the Supreme Phantom. Since we're not getting any value out of looting with the Copter, might as well keep it alive for now. Yes, we'll go to 7. Rattlechains is fine. No, you know, there's no way we can win this game. There's no reason to play this one out. It's fine. Mull to 5 on the draw. Blind opponent. No big deal. Okay, so we have a Hurkyl's Recall. We have Rest in Peace. Declaration in Stone. Those are the big uns. Chalice on 2 is okay against them, but Chalice on 2 is too slow. If we could just like have a ley line of Chalice of the Void on 2, that'd be good, but not actually useful for what we want. We can take out Thalia's. That's the first big thing. Image is okay because copying Drogskol is pretty good, but this is one of many matchups where Kira is better than Drogskol because Kira protects herself from Walking Ballista. So let's trim these guys. We can still present a reasonable clock without quite as many lords, especially with our deputies crewing Copters. Gotta play. Have a reasonable hand. I think the success of this hand is going to depend largely on whether or not we're pressured to use Declaration Stone on our turn 3. If they play like turn 1, if they basically do what they did last game, turn 1 Scales, turn 2 Ravager, and we have to Declaration it, then that's awkward because then we can't quell anything. But if we get to pass with Queller up on turn 3, and then Declaration after that, that'll be big. Wow, this is exactly the same as last game. So that's sort of what I'm talking about. We have to Declaration that. We can't even let them untap with that. Which is very awkward. We can present a really good clock, though. It's pretty risky. Alright, I'm going to take a chance and not Declaration the Steel Overseer. Letting them untap with a Steel Overseer, Hardened Scales, and Inkmoth Nexus in play is very risky, but we have a fast hand. We got a land with Ancient Stirring, so that's either really good or really bad. If they tap out for something that we can quell, that would be great. Okay, that's actually pretty strong. That lines up super well. We can quell this, and then we can Declaration the Overseer when they don't have any mana to animate the Inkmoth Nexus. Declaration in Stone and Deputy of Detention both miss creature lands, which is super relevant. They're both great cards, especially Deputy. Deputy is super, super good, but occasionally you really, really get burned by the fact that they can't hit creature lands. They have another Steel Overseer. That's fine. We can beat that. Got a 2-turn clock in the air. Put him to 4 here. I don't think we're at risk of dying to any combination of cards this next turn. Except for... The scary one is always, what if they have Ravager and Ballista? Okay, can we get through this Ballista? Let's start by drawing a card. The Rattlechains will be helpful. This is actually nice that they're going for the Supreme Phantom instead of like the Rattlechains. Because now they have to kill the Ballista to kill the Supreme Phantom. Walking Ballista is so good against us. God, it's so messed up. So this should be lethal, right? Because we'll have 3 2-power creatures. They have 1 flying blocker. And that's only if they choose to kill this. Yeah. Hey. Might as well rub it in, right? Cool. That was better. Didn't get good interaction until that path. Like, Declaration's not great. It's fine, but it's not great. Obviously, Rest in Peace only does a couple of things. It turns off their modular creatures, and we didn't actually see any Hangerback walkers from them, but Hangerback is very good against us. So, Rest in Peace, I think, is worth it. Though, Declaration in Stone is very good against Hangerback walker. Maybe we should cut the Rest in Pieces and bring back in a few more creatures. It's tough, though. Rest in Peace, by itself, sort of turns off Ravager. It's just kind of a dead draw if it isn't lining up with their specific threat base. It's a lot easier to keep Rest in Peace in if you've seen a Hangerback. But I don't know exactly what. There's a lot of variety in the Hardened Scale specs. This hand has a lot of good stuff. As I was mentioning, it's weak to Inkmoth Nexus. It's good against other things. Deputy in this matchup is a little less good without Vial. Geez, they're 3 for 3, 7-card hands, turn 1 scales. But Deputy will maybe eat that Hardened Scales. More likely now that we have 2 of them. Weirdly, Declaration in Stone in this matchup is a little better on the draw. So we're just going to destroy that right now. If they have Ballista next turn, it's fine. If they have Ravager, it's fine. Other scales. Ooh. Ooh, Deputy's looking real good. But not yet. Not yet. We want to quell something first. Because if we quell first, then next turn we can Deputy plus Path following threat. Yeah. They only have 2 lands. They're not going to crack that clue. Or they're not going to crack that clue and do something. So we don't really have to worry about multiple things. Arcbound Worker. That lets them get a servo. They only have 1 mana. Let's just quell it. We have answers for days to all their stuff. We'll grab Island. Now, if they go like land Ballista, we'll feel like an idiot. Oh my god, this Deputy Detention. Oh, it's going to be amazing. I think we just play the... Nah, the Vial's going to get discarded to Copter. Triple Hardened Scales. Goodbye. Wow. Got rewarded for waiting there. Big time. Hangerback Walker. I think they have 1 card in hand, so let's just path the Hangerback. The only thing that we're missing is, you know, creatures that can actually kill our opponent. Selfless is good. So we'll just play out Selfless plus Copter. Or we could Deputy the animation module and leave them with actually nothing. Because right now they're still, like, kind of in good shape if they draw a Ravager. So we could just eat that now and play Vial. No, let's hold the Deputy and wait a little bit. We're pretty ahead. With one of their engine cards in play, this deck can come back very quickly. And animation module counts. Ravager would be a good play. And Inkmoth is going to be annoying. They can proliferate, or they can kind of proliferate, right? Bad proliferate. But it costs 3 mana to do that. So they can shrink our creatures that Inkmoth blocks. They can only do that once. They can also, if they block our Deputy and put a counter on it, okay, so we can't attack the Deputy because that's a way for them to kill it is block it with Inkmoth to get a counter on it and then start shrinking it with the animation module. Now seems like a good time to draw a card. Nice. Does this target? Choose a counter on target, permanent, or player. Yes, it does. So we can protect our Spell Queller from that proliferate-like ability with Drogskol Captain. Can't protect it from actual proliferate, because that doesn't target, as far as I know. Pretty sure proliferate. It just says choose any number of, rather than target things. Blink Moth. Throne of Geth. So that can kill our Spell Queller, I think. Choose any number of permanents and or players. Yeah, so that gets through Hexproof. Which means we probably want to crew with Spell Queller. They can't, so this doesn't put any counters to start. This only adds counters when they're already there. Same with this. They have 3 artifacts to sacrifice. They don't need these Darksteel Citadels. Blinkbond Nexus came in this turn, which means it can't tap to pump itself. That's pretty relevant. So it's only blocking as a 1/1. If we attack with Spell Queller, they proliferate the counter, so now it's a 1/2. And so it still can't die, actually, in this combat. Nice. Okay, so let's crew with Deputy and attack with everybody. Ooh, that's good. We go to 1. We go to 2. Okay. We got lethal a bunch of different ways now. Ballista, X equals 2. They proliferate to make it 3. They shoot this twice. They shoot that once. Selfless can save us from that. So we'll just start by Declaration of Stone on the Ballista. Okay. Oh, 2-0. That one was against Hardened Scales. Why do I get this exclamation point? Deck contains cards not in your collection. That is not true. Thanks, MTGO. These are all in my collection. Okay, whatever. Round 3 coming up, 2-0. Played against Ponza with a white splash, and then Hardened Scales. basically played those matches with mostly no sideboard. Granted, I mean, we cast a lot of Declaration of Stones, but, you know, we only brought in, I think, 2 cards against Ponza, and then 5 against Hardened Scales, but 2 of them were the resting pieces that we weren't super psyched about. So we're mostly playing with our main deck right now. Be nice to see a matchup where we can just windmill slam our sideboard cards. Raging Onyx is our opponent. We are on the draw. We're going to keep our hand. If we don't draw a 1-drop, then we get the weird psych out of like turn 1 Flooded Strand pass, and then they think we're on blue-white control, and we play Thalia. Wow. Delver of Secrets. Crazy. Revealed Opt. Is this blue-red Wizards? That would be insane. A second Delver of Secrets. Alright, well, hopefully Thalia slows them down a good bit. They probably have a Lightning Bolt. Imagine they'll opt here. Grixis? What? What is this deck? Gotta check something. Wow. So weird. 2 blind flips. Damn it. Grixis Delver. Okay, so they'll probably terminate our Thalia. Yep. We take 6, go to 10. Following turn, we have Path plus Rattlechains. Which can hopefully get rid of both of these Delvers. I think at least one of them. Selfless will be nice the following turn with Supreme Phantom. So we'll play Plains, stop on their upkeep, Path a Delver. And then we'll try to get the Insectile Aberration number 2 in combat with Rattlechains. And if we don't, we don't. Could easily get remanded or something. There's another, I was thinking about maybe playing Rattlechains in their upkeep to give it hexproof. K-Command. Ugh. Get rid of the Plains. Alright, so we'll go to 7. They have 3 cards. 2 cards. I like the Deputy, but we're not ready to play it yet. Because we want to get the Selfless Spirit out first. And we care more about the Selfless Spirit than the Supreme Phantom, so just in case they play Spell Snare, we'll play this with the Cavern. We're close. Snapcaster Mage for Terminate or K-Command? K-Command's strong. That's very strong. Alright. This deck is crazy. I cannot believe we're playing its Grixis Delver. It's nonsense. That's an awesome draw. They have 1 card in hand. An uncounterable Spell Queller. Okay. So we'll trade with the Insectile Aberration. They'll opt. We go to 5. They have 1 card. We have Mutavault. They drew really well. Blind Flip Delver 2 turns in a row. And they had a bunch of removal spells. Oh my god, a 3rd Delver. Well, Mutavault will be fine if they don't blind flip this Delver. 3 blind flips in a row, no thanks. Oh my god. Wow. Delver decks in Modern are so stupid because if you get blind flips on your Delver, the deck just looks so good. It looks so strong. And if you don't get those blind flips, it looks awful. So we'll get Chalice of the Void for sure. It looks awesome in this matchup. Declaration is going to be really good, especially since we're bringing the Chalices. Don't know if this deck's playing Gurmag Angler. If we see it in game 2, we'll bring in the Rest in Peace, but just countering Snapcaster is not enough. Auriok Champion seems unremovable, so we're going to bring that in. Easy to cut the Chalices here. Or the Vials. Keep in probably 2 Path to Exiles. And we'll trim some things that are weak to removal, like Drogskol and Phantasmal Image. Pretty typical sideboard plan. We use this against several decks. Not sure if they're playing Hand Disruption. But Chalice we're not counting on as like a hard lock piece in this matchup. They have plenty of ways to remove it. They showed us K-Command in game 1. They're probably going to have a Braid in game 2. It's just a way to screw them up a little bit, which is why it's fine to leave in the paths. Even though we can't cast them through Chalice. Basically what I'm saying is we're not really counting on Chalice to survive and win us the game by itself. Not at all. Not by any stretch. So a little Nambo here and there is fine. I wonder if they play Terramander. They probably do. It's better with Snapcaster than Gurmag Angler is. I will say, if we can stick an early Chalice and keep it alive for a couple of turns, probably just win. But that's not our sole game plan. We're not going to keep a bad hand just because it has Chalice in it. Keep a medium hand. Like Chalice, 2 lands, and at least one other thing that we can do. Probably keep that regardless of what else is in there. Difficult sideboard decisions for opponent. We on the plate. Thalia seems way better on the play than on the draw. I'm going to keep this. This looks awesome. Removal, protection, Thalia. Not the end of the world if we get Thought Seized. I want to see a cantrip. Ugh. Better not blind flip this thing. They didn't show us any counter magic in game 1, and we saw a lot of cards. Maybe we should have let that Thought Scour resolve just to see 2 more cards out of their deck, right? The pseudo rage quit might have been a bad idea, just because we missed out on a little bit of information. They were casting Thought Scour when we conceded, but we didn't see any counter magic. They've got to have something, but I don't know if they're going to have it against us. Another blind flip. Nice. Now they have a lightning bolt, I'm sure. Yep. So we're just going to Declaration and Stone this thing, for sure. Well, unless you draw a 3-drop. No. So the other option would be to try to flash in Rattlechains, but they have a Terminate. If they play a black source untapped, then our Rattlechains is dead. If they play a fetch land and sack it, we could respond with Rattlechains. I think we should just Declaration this thing. Now next turn we can play Selfless Spirit and then hopefully try to 2-for-1 them with Rattlechains. If they just take the turn off to sack or clue, draw a card, that's fine with me. They probably have a bolt. They kept up the Terminate. Or kept up a land. Either that or they play Death Shadow. Just gonna bolt the Rattlechains? No! Wow. We actually got a clean 2-for-1. Okay, command. Deal 2 to Rattlechains. Make us discard a card. That's fine. We'll just discard the Horizon Canopy. It's not a card anyway. It's fine. Let's keep that up. Oh, we don't have Rattlechains anymore, so we'll just play the Wanderer now. A little awkward. Right now, if nobody does anything, we put them to 1 in 2 turns. That sucks. But we can remove a threat or blocker, and we can remove a threat or blocker and still attack with Mutavault next turn. That's nice. Tasigur. Okay, good to know. So they probably have Angler too, right? At least one. Ooh, Queller. Is it worth it to hold up Queller? If we Declaration Tasigur, then we get in for 5. If we hold up Queller, we only get in for 3, put in to 8. Following turn, we can attack for 7, so we still are 1 short. I think I like exiling this. This is the beauty of Declaration Stone. Like, a lot of decks in Modern are really, really lean. Spell Snare. Do we care about that? I think we counter Spell Snare. Since Selfless Spirit can protect Spell Queller, we don't actually care. about protecting it with with Wanderer, so we don't need the Wanderer anymore. Wanderer can't counter creatures anyway. Anyway, what I was saying was, decks in Modern are very, very lean and mana hungry right now, so giving them clues is not that bad, honestly, because they don't necessarily have the mana to crack them, and even if they are paying the mana to crack them, that's like a huge tempo loss, given how efficient these decks are trying to be. So they opt to the bottom. Play a land. Could be very good, or they could just have a Kolaghan's Command, and then we discard our Spell Queller. Let's hold this up. Let's just attack for 2. If we had a 5th land, it'd be a no-brainer, which is why I want to hold it up, because next turn, if they don't do anything, and then next turn we can cast Chalice of the Void with Spell Queller up, that'll be huge. Snapcaster Mage for opt. Okay, so they would have Spell Snared the Chalice if we played it. Snapcaster Mage opt. If we quell the Snapcaster, then we can sacrifice Selfless Spirit to save this Spell Queller and still have 4 damage. If we don't quell this, then they have a blocker for Mutavault. So I think I actually like quelling this. Especially since they don't have anything good in their graveyard. Anger of the Gods. No. They did play a Delver this match, right? Weird choice. Play Anger and Delver in the deck together. Come on, do it. Cast Fatal Push. I was hoping they would cast Fatal Push on the Spell Queller. Alright, so they played Delve Creatures, so I do want to bring in the rest in pieces. Auriok Champion for sure is going to be good. Auriok Champion just invalidates their ground creatures like Tasigur along with Rest in Peace. That's really strong. Smuggler's Copter I think is actually what I'm going to cut because it's really soft to Kolaghan's Command. So we're still pretty flush with creatures because we're bringing in the Auriok Champions. So cutting the Copters is fine, I think. This hand is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So they probably have a Bolt. I hope they don't. I hope it's just an opt. Because protecting Chalice with Wanderer could win the game. But it's probably a Bolt. It is a Bolt. So we'll lead with Chalice. Delver. They have only 1 land. This Chalice seems very good. We have Rattlechains to kill the Insectile Aberration if it flips. Otherwise, Thalia just eats it. Okay. That is 5 in a row. Blind flips. 5/4/5, importantly. Crazy. Rest in Peace is nice, but we don't need it right now. We also don't really need... Like, I don't care about the damage we're taking from this thing right now, so let's get Thalia in play. They already used a Bolt. Not that they can cast it right now anyway. But Thalia is pretty much invincible on this board. And she protects our Chalice down the road. EE. Young Pyromancer. Thalia is going to be good against that. So let's just hold back and flash in Rattlechains to take out the Insectile Aberration. There's nothing they can do about this. They also have Declaration Stone and Deputy of Detention to clean up tokens if they get out of hand. Oh. Which they might get out of hand. Queller's pretty good. So they'll get a lot of tokens here, even if they're not actually resolving the spells that they're casting. Okay. At least Spell Queller and Selfless both Spell Queller and Thalia both break the tokens. They can't attack. Oh, well, there you go. That's easy enough. Bye. Have 2 clues. Congrats. They still can't cast that Kolaghan's Command, even if they draw land. They can cast Tasker, which means next turn, if they don't cast Tasker this turn, we're probably going to cast Rest in Peace. Oh, there's Tasker. All right. Now we want Auriok Champion. Or Deputy. Mute is fine. Actually, we can kill Tasker by flashing in Selfless Spirit and triple blocking. I like that better. Cool. We'll do that. They got in on their Tasker turn. There's their one window. This is bad beats. That was pretty brutal. We can keep the pressure on. Still 2 turns away from casting their Kolaghan's Command. And we have Spell Queller. We're winning the race by a lot right now as well. They're 2 dinky tokens. You got it. Draw that card. They have 9 cards in hand. You may discard 2. Thought Scour and Spell Snare. Yep, can't cast those. Let's just make sure you also can't cast. Oh, never mind. Never mind, take it back. I have Thalia in play. Never mind. Delete, 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 delete. I'm totally fine with trading away this Mutavault with both tokens. Okay. Playing Spooky Taxes. Undeath and Taxes. Uh-oh. What could be a Braid? Terminate? I don't even care about Terminate. Just let it resolve. Angler? Collective Brutality. What are they doing? Escalate, escalate, escalate. No. Collective Brutality is pretty good against us sometimes since it can shrink things around Selfless Spirit. Still not used to this. The Ripped 289 wins the match. I know that's me, but... Alright, I'm going to relocate because I got to plug in. They're coming with me. That was match 3, I think, right? Yeah, alright. Match 3 or 3-0. Didn't really expect to play against Grixis Delver. In the year of our Lord 2019 in Modern. But here we are. Alright, you can see me. Let's go. Match 4. Hope everybody's having a nice evening. Or, you know, a nice whatever time of day it is for you. I'm having a nice evening. This deck's just so fun to play. Even the non-functional, silly mana mulligan hands are still fun, even if they're stupid. And sometimes you just get to completely decimate decks with Thalia and Chalice. Now nobody wants to play against us. Oh my god, the lead ends in 2 weeks. We're so close already. That's weird. Isn't the
I think the London Mulligan is being implemented on Magic Online next week. It's weird that they would implement it a week before a league ends, since it's probably going to change the texture of the format a little bit. It seems like that'd be a better thing to implement at the start of a new league cycle. I don't know. We're up against Kygars. Kygars? Probably Kygars. Look at that. Sharktocrab avatar. Sharktocrab treasure? Oh, you get that out of chests? I don't open chests. Ugh, this is one of those hands where it's like, well, I hope Thalia's good. If we're up against a deck where Thalia's good, then Wanderer Thalia is going to be extremely strong. Basic Plains does not bode well. Well, plan B for this hand is just play Lords and then try to kill them. Leonin Arbiter. Eldrazi Taxes is not a matchup where Thalia is good. I think we just want to play out the Supreme Phantom and then the Drogskol. If we get Ghost Quartered so that we can't cast Drogskol, then we'll play Aether Vial. Or we could just play Aether Vial now. Playing Aether Vial now would give us an opportunity to block this thing. We're probably going to get Thought Knot Seared. Which means we want to just get on the board. If we play Mutavault, they're likely to shoot it with a Ghost Quarter. Let's just try to race. Eldrazi Taxes is a bad matchup. Our bad matchups are fewer in number than they used to be. I was thinking about that the other day. Like we have a lot of good matchups in Modern right now, and a lot of okay matchups, but Eldrazi Taxes is one of the poorer ones. Flicker Wisp is good against us. Eldrazi Displacer is amazing. So oh, well, we might be getting away with something here. Yes, the one true weakness of Eldrazi Taxes, their own mana base. Thought Not Seer. That is too little too late. Because we can attack for 11 next turn. 12 actually. No, it is 11. Yeah, 12. And ooh, that's sick. They're forced to block the Mutavault. Alright, I'm glad we decided to just go for a race. That was the right call. We go to 2. Alright, yep, cool. Whew, got away with that against a not very good matchup, especially in Game 1. We don't have a ton going on in Game 2 either, for what it's worth, but at least we can get rid of some of these Thalias. If they show us like Thraben Inspector and Blade Splicer and Aether Vial and Chalice and stuff like that in game 2, then we can bring in Hurkyl's Recall. Disdainful Stroke generally only counters Thought-Knot Seer. I don't know if they're going to be playing Restoration Angel, so we're gonna hold off on bringing in Disdainful Strokes. But if they show us some more 4-mana spells in game 2, then we'll bring those in. Because it is nice to have a way to prevent a Restoration Angel from entering the battlefield. Besides Spell Queller, all of our ways to stop Resto and Thought-Knot and stuff are only dealing with them as permanents. So it depends. If they're playing like a leaner build with a bunch of 3s, then it would suck to have Disdainful Stroke stuck in our hand. Looking for another race hand here. This hand can race. Just hoping for a 3rd land. Of course, we drew the 1 Thalia that we couldn't side out. Alright, this is a turn 4 kill if we get a 3rd land by turn 3. We'll get a non-basic land so that we have something for Ghost Quarter if that's in our future. And we hope that they don't have turn 2 Arbiter. They do not. Thank God. Non-fetch. Come on. Sick. So Thought-Knot Seer would mess us up. A Path is alright. Path on Supreme Phantom. That's fine. We can still Goldfish turn 4 if we draw a 5th land. Because we'll be able to attack with Mutavault after playing both Drogskols. Smuggler. Fine. Guess I'm not going to auto-yield. They could have land Thoughtseize. Wonder if they take Deputy or Drogskol. I think Drogskol's the right take. Yeah. That's a great draw. Alright, put him to 12. We have 6 flying. If we draw a Supreme Phantom or a Phantasmal Image, then we can threaten lethal. They could Thought-Knot us. That doesn't matter. Doesn't change anything. Path. That's annoying. But now we can, if we hit a land, we can Deputy the Smuggler and then take. Interesting. Alright, land would be really good. Land would be super good. Come on. Yes. Alright, that was a short one, huh? Drew the lands right when we wanted them. Back to back. Good draws for sure. Alright, we're 4-0. Let's do this. Get the 5-0. The friendly 5-0. A nice little welcome back to streaming with the new username. Stream's still working. Computer's charging. Computer's overheating. The good stuff. All right, come on. Let's get this friendly 5-0. Welcome back 5-0. What are you doing? Come on. On the draw again. And Smasher 11291. This hand's okay. It's a little slow on the draw. We'd like to draw a 2-drop. Or a Wanderer, I guess, but like a Supreme Phantom or a Rattlechains would be nice. Ugh. Well, this hand can definitely leverage multiple vials if the game goes longer. So I guess we'll just hope. Grixis Death Shadow. Stubborn Denial. Haha. Fine. Gangler. Look at that. Good for them. Oh man, I love this matchup. Ha! Had a second one. Punk. There's Shadow 2. Thoughtseize. Whatever. Grixis Death Shadow. They had a good hand. Sort of like Delver in that when the deck lines up, like when it's firing on all pistons, it's so strong. Feels unbeatable. But when it doesn't work, it feels so stupid. Okay, ooh. That's really good. I think we'll wait, because I want to quell a Death Shadow if it comes down. Man, it's... Alright, that actually, the fact that we don't have that Vial from the previous turn stinks, because we'd be able to Vial in Thalia and hold up Spell Queller here, and that'd be really strong. Another Thoughtseize. Well, we'll just quell it. The whole point of this Thoughtseize is to get the Queller out of our hand, so... Whatever. Now at least it gets another spell out of their hand. If they play a Death Shadow here, we're okay. Oh, Fatal Push is annoying. A Death Shadow would have been fine because we could just chump, or like, you know, do a gang block with Selfless Spirit. And then just like wait to kill the Angler and then wait and kill them in one shot to avoid growing the Shadow, but that's annoying. There's no way for us to productively, like if we draw an, we would have to draw a Wanderer or a Wanderer specifically in order to actually kill this Angler. So we get a nice option here where we can Vial in the Selfless, crew the Copter, block with the Copter, and then depending on what we draw, we can choose to save the Selfless or save the Copter. Unless they try to remove it here. Where do we draw? A land. So we have to let the Copter die. Since there's no guarantee that we could crew it the following turn. That was mostly what it depended on. We needed to see if we drew a creature or not. Snap. Poosh. Yikes. What can we draw to get out of this one? Nothing. It's fine. Totally fine. We bring in our entire sideboard. 8 cards. Cut 2 paths, 4 vials, Phantasmal Image, Drogskol Captain, and I guess we'll just cut the other path too. Cool. Fun matchup. I'm glad that we're against Death Shadow for our last match. Very enjoyable. Their deck looked dope in that last match, or last game. What do we get to play with? We cannot cast Wanderer. That's awkward. That Chalice is gonna get Thought Seized. Whatever. I don't care. Oh my god. They probably just have a braid. What they do? Thought Scour. Not Stub. Well, maybe they can't cast anything. Neither can we. It's very, very hard for them to kill a Deputy of Detention with a Chalice in play. They pretty much need Dismember. So if we can get that Deputy in play, and remove, a threat, like a Gurmag Angler. Okay, so they are gonna play Gangler. Oh, they just have the K command? Nope. Alright, now's the time. Blue source. Yes. So I don't think they play Terminate. So it would have to be Dismember. Okay, they have that. We'll just cast another Deputy. Actually, yeah, they probably can't cast any spells, right? Like, I was thinking if we should hold up the Spell Queller. I don't think so. Oh, sad. So we'll just flash in Spell Queller and eat the Snapcaster, I guess. Or we could just do that with Supreme Phantom. Let's do that. That way we don't pay life unnecessarily with the Horizon Canopy. We can take some hits from this. We're already pretty afraid of... ooh, that's good. We're already pretty afraid of Kolaghan's Command. So if they have a Kolaghan's Command to destroy the Chalice, like, that's an incompletely formed thought. What I was saying was, we're at 11, which means if we take 2 hits from this thing, we go to 1. I don't think 1 is sufficiently different from 0 against them. Or sufficiently different from 2 or 3. Because the only way that they can kill us from 1 without combat is Kolaghan's Command, which we already get wrecked by. They're still not close to Angler. I think we cast one next turn. Land is good. Spell Queller is a 4/5. That's a little awkward. Drogskol is a 4/4 and makes these 3/5s. So they can double block the Angler. I like that. So we'll fetch to 3. Because what's the difference? Play the Drogskol Captain. Actually, if we attack them for 6, we put them to 3. We block. Nah, then that's unnecessarily risky. Is it? We're not dead to that much. We're basically dead to Dismember if we do that. We make them have exactly Dismember. We're already dead to Kolaghan's Command. So that doesn't matter. Attack for 3. Then we double block this. They kill probably the Drogskol. Dealing 4 to Drogskol, 1 to this. Then we have 4 power left. So attacking with 1 Supreme Phantom is not worth it. Let's go for it. Screw it. Fortune favors the bold. Go, go, go. It looks like they're playing towards an Angler, and I don't care about that. So now we have lethal flying. We just block this thing. We go to 1. They burn us out with K-Command or they don't. Okay, they had it. Whatever. Whatever. That's fine. Okay, so we went 4-1. that was a loose play that was obviously wrong. By holding back with everything, we can double block there. We don't die, basically. Of course they had the Kolaghan's Command. We knew it. Called it that they had it. I think if we had pursued the actual smart line there, we definitely would have won that match. So, no big deal. That was fun. Fun to be back on Twitch, even though nobody's goddamn talking to me. I hope that you enjoyed the stream or the video. If you watched on YouTube, subscribe, I guess. If you watched on Twitch, follow, but don't waste your money subscribing. I don't need it. Donate it to somebody who does. Thanks again for watching. I'll hopefully be, at the very least, sort of more regular on Thursdays now that I'm less busy. And I might record some competitive leagues. Like I said, I'm in the middle of doing that right now, and post them on YouTube sort of intermittently, separate from the streams, which will be mostly friendlies because it's more fun when I'm talking the whole time and on the webcam and eating spaghetti. So anyway, thanks again for watching. I hope you all have a good rest of the whatever part of the day it is for you. Bye.